Hello guys, you have reached United Loyalty, so you're most welcome and make sure you subscribe, like and share for new hottest news on Manchester United that are trending worldwide. Let's dive straight to our news. Harry Maguire has been left out of the World Cup by Thomas Tuchel. I am shocked. I was confident I could have played a major part this summer for my country after the season I've had. I've been left gutted by the decision. I wish the players all the best. Carrick's first move at United as manager. Michael Carrick has reportedly handed the board a list of 7 players he wants to sign if he becomes MUFC's permanent manager. Elliot Anderson, Sandro Tonali, Aurelien Tchouameni, Kvicha Kvar. Manchester United are nearing midfielder agreement in principle with Nottingham Forest to sign Elliot Anderson. Man United given green light to sign Federico Valverde. Spectacular transfer would turn Red Devils into title contenders. Mainoo admitted that he had to consider all options at Manchester United after being ostracised by ex-manager Ruben Amorim, only to be revitalised under Michael Carrick. Mainoo enjoyed a meteoric rise when he first got his chance under Erik ten Hag, scoring in an FA Cup final and playing for England at the Euros within 12 months of his debut. However, his career stalled when Amorim arrived at Old Trafford. The Portuguese coach used the midfielder sporadically, often leaving him on the bench. Amorim claimed he rated Mainoo but said he was only suited to the role Bruno Fernandes, United's talisman and captain, played in his system. That ultimately limited the midfielder's minutes and opportunities. So guys, keep supporting this channel through subscribing, liking and sharing this, the world of hottest updates of Manchester United. It led to suggestions of a move away for the academy graduate, who would have represented pure profit given he came through the club's system, but he remained and insists he was always confident he would find his back. Jamie Carragher and Rio Ferdinand in new row after public Casemiro U-turn. He told Sky Sports, when there's new managers, they have their way that they want to play, and if they think you don't fit that, then you don't fit that. The 21-year-old who recently signed a new deal went on to say, going from playing nearly every game to not playing as often is always going to be a difficult adjustment. It was good for me in terms of learning about myself, the game, and patience. It's difficult when you don't even come on as a sub, of course, but I'd say my family and my friends helped me see the light at the end of the tunnel. They knew it would swing back my way at some point, so I just had to be patient. He added, "When you're not playing many games, or any games, you consider all things. But at the forefront of my mind was always to play for Manchester United and continue to play for this club that I've grown up at." Amorim was axed in January after months of poor results. He stuck stubbornly to his system, which only allowed for 2 midfielders, and that ultimately cost him. Carrick has returned to a more conventional system, picking 3 midfielders, one of which has been Mainoo. The former United boss was previously forced to defend his selection calls and once said, "I understand what you are saying. You love Kobbie, he starts for England. But that doesn't mean that I need to put Kobbie in when I feel that I shouldn't put Kobbie in, so it's my decision." Casemiro convinced over 1 more year at Man United as true feelings on exit emerge. Manchester United. Midfielder Casemiro is reportedly set to leave the club for free this summer as his contract expires, with the likes of Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton and Carlos Baleba linked with a midfield transfer move. Casemiro might have remained at Manchester United for another year had Michael Carrick been appointed earlier, it has been claimed. The Englishman has thrived since assuming control on an interim basis in January following the dismissal of Ruben Amorim. Michael Carrick has reportedly outlined his plans and agenda for next season at Manchester United. Carrick's project: return to a 4-2-3-1 system, build around younger hungry players, sell or loan underperforming players, sign energetic and technical midfielders, win the Premier League, improve dressing room unity, build a squad ready for Champions League football, introduce faster attacking football, keep experienced leaders in the squad, win the Champions League, focus on a long-term rebuild project. Reconnect the club with fans through better football and academy trust. Carrick really said, "Enough suffering. We rebuild from today." As we are continuing our news, let's keep subscribing, so stay tuned. If Manchester United sign Tonali, the rest of the league should be worried. Tonali and Mainoo in midfield with Bruno at number 10 would give United the perfect balance of aggression, control, creativity and work rate. A complete midfield at last. Under Ruben Amorim last season, Manchester United finished 15th with 42 points gap behind Liverpool. Yes, you read that right, 42. As reported earlier, Manchester United have advanced groundwork on Fernandes and Anderson. However, Gianluca Di Marzio reports that Ineos are now running parallel tracks on Sandro Tonali and Ederson. The club is currently assessing which deal is financially viable before making a final move this summer. But since the appointment of Michael Carrick, if Manchester United beat Nottingham Forest on Sunday, we will be 9 points ahead of Liverpool on the table. That will be a 51-point turnaround on last season. Yes, 51 points. Some massive job Carrick has done at Manchester United since his arrival. Manchester United are closely monitoring the situation of Anthony Gordon at Newcastle United. The winger remains highly regarded internally, with United keeping a close eye on developments as they assess options to strengthen the left side of their attack this summer. Manchester United are not expected to completely rebuild their midfield this summer, but the club could still sign up to 3 midfielders with around £150 million split across targets in the £80 million, £40 million and £20 million price ranges. United are also expected to target a left-back to replace Tyrell Malacia, a left winger, a backup goalkeeper, and possibly a centre-back following Matthijs de Ligt's back surgery setback. Urgent. 25-year-old Botafogo midfielder Danilo, who once played for Nottingham Forest in the Premier, will be open to a move to Manchester United after they secured Champions League football amid the club interest in him. Botafogo set a release clause of £38 million in his current contract. Michael Carrick and the Manchester United hierarchy face major decisions over several players this summer as the club look to raise funds and reduce the wage bill. Casemiro, Tyrell Malacia and Jadon Sancho are expected to leave permanently. Rasmus Højlund's loan at Napoli will reportedly become permanent automatically if they qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Talks continue between United and FC Barcelona over Marcus Rashford, though Barca want to lower the £26 million option or extend the loan. Bayern Munich and Arsenal are also interested. Andre Onana is expected to leave after returning from loan, while Altay Bayındır could also depart. Joshua Zirkzee is reportedly one of the players closest to leaving, with doubts over how he fits into Carrick's system. Rio Ferdinand on Manchester United securing a top 3 finish. With Liverpool losing to Aston Villa, Manchester United have basically secured 3rd place regardless of what happens in the final 2 league games. That probably gives Michael Carrick the freedom to rotate more players, give some squad players opportunities and even experiment with the system like we saw in the last match. But for me, the season still has unfinished business. Those final 2 games shouldn't just become meaningless matches because Bruno Fernandes is still chasing history. He only needs 2 more assists to break another record and strengthen his case even more for the Player of the Year award. Carrick should still use a strong team to help his captain finish what he started this season. You can always bring the squad players on later and experiment once the game is under control, because great seasons deserve great endings, and Bruno Fernandes has earned the chance to finish this campaign properly. Almost all of the squad have improved since Carrick and his backroom team started work in January after United brought an end to Amorim's troubled reign, but perhaps 2 exceptions are Amad Diallo and Bryan Mbeumo. It was suggested the 2 players were suffering from the after effects of representing Ivory Coast and Cameroon at the Africa Cup of Nations over New Year before returning in time for Carrick's first game against Manchester City. But 4 months on, Diallo and Mbeumo still look short of their best, which has raised some concerns about them. Diallo was taken off at half-time of the recent win over Brentford and then made a costly mistake when he was brought off the bench against Liverpool. Mbeumo looked unhappy to be replaced in the Liverpool game and was then a substitute for last weekend's draw at Sunderland. Both are dangerous wide men when they are on form and were often used on the same flank by Amorim to great effect, with Diallo as a right wing-back. Carrick has been very protective of the little Ivorian in recent weeks, but he will need to find a way to get the best out of both players again.